Well, hi, my name is Paola Jimena Jimenez Velasquez, and I'm here to present to Yogurt's Dairy Company a strategy to enter to the Mexican market. So first of all, we need to understand these important facts so we can know that Dairy's company, Dairy's company, is going to enter successfully to the Mexican market. And here's why. It's because Yogurt Dairy Company is completely committed to making rather delicious yogurts products with simple and natural ingredients and without a lot of sugar. Yogurt's products don't contain any artificial preservatives, sweeteners, flavors, or colors and have 30% less sugar and more protein than the leading Greek yogurt. Also are made with milk from family farms in Virginia. This is an important fact since in Mexico one of the most important problems that the population is suffering is obesity. So with these products, we can make a difference in the population in Mexico. Now, talking about the relationship between Mexican demographic and purchasing power, we're talking about it's favorable or not. First, due to their constant demographic growth and also their business and economic development through these past years, I believe that this is favorable. Now, how the Mexican political system can help or undermine their endeavor? Mexican political system can set up specific norms and regulations that can lead to a better organization, development of a more convenient economic system, and also these certain advantages over business organizations. Also by creating restrictions on matter or international business, commerce agreements, and don't forget about renewed political system that can benefit or affect business between countries. Now, how will play out within the Mexican economic system in a specific the economics surrounding that specific industry? We're talking about yogurt industry, of course. First of all, it will be a boost for the Mexican company, since it's a market with constant growth, so good demand is expected. In addition to boosting this country's economy with the creation of jobs and product innovation. Now, we're going to talk about the Mexican legal system. In order to acquire permissions, licenses, and governmental authorizations, needed to be able to establish ourselves in the Mexican market, in addition to taking advantage of the commercial agreements that are made reading them in order to benefit the company and the target country. How do foreign direct investments work in Mexico and if there are any fiscal incentives they can take off advantage? Mexico is one of the emerging countries most open to foreign direct investments. As a member of the USMCA, OECD, G20, and the Pacific Alliance, Mexico is very well integrated into the world's economic order, making it an attractive country for FDI. Additionally, Mexico enjoys a strategic location, a big domestic market, a wide variety of natural resources, a relatively well qualified workplace, and diversified economy. Now, how is the Mexican peso doing? For this week, specialists said that the peso closed the previous session at 2019 units, with an appreciation of the 0.19%, which means 5.10 cents. During the overnight session, the price reached a minimum of 20.15 and a maximum of 20.31 units. For today, we estimate a fluctuation range between 20.17 and 24 pesos per dollar, considering key levels of support at 20.15, resistance at 20.45 pesos per dollar. Mexican culture in the workplace, what to expect? Well, in Mexican culture, you will find many traditions, but specifically speaking of business culture, the most important thing to consider is personal relationship, since it's necessary for business achievement. But also, we cannot forget about confidence and respect. Mexicans believe that doing business is not just only about making money through impersonal organizations, but it is also about trust and essential to success. The way to deal with it is to maintain a central understanding of the country so you can successfully do business. How to comply the relevant fiscal and environmental regulations that apply to that specific industry? Well, it is essential to study the country to which you will enter, in this case Mexico, since this way we will be able to know the regulations and standards that are required to do business. Also by receiving assistance from a law expertise, so I consider that being informed correctly is the key receiving assistance from a law expertise. What to expect about Mexican hiring practices, employment benefits, minimum wage, and the role of labor unions. First of all, the labor law in Mexico regulation are based on the Mexican Constitution of 1917 and the Mexican federal level law. Although wages continue to be low comparison to the United States, the MFLL is strict in these preventions of unsafe working conditions. The federal law regulates labor contracts, minimum wage, employee benefits, and union activity within Mexico. You should familiarize yourself with labor law as part of your feasibility study for operations in Mexico. Now, talking about the work relationship, it's not specifically defined as a temporary from the beginning. There are few circumstances under which you legally can dismiss an employee without incurring compensation responsibilities. There is no time limit on the length of the work relationship unless it is explicitly. Now, some benefits that Mexico offers to employees are Christmas bonus called like aguinaldo, also legal holidays, vacations, social security, and retirement insurance. Some relevant trade policies details in terms of free trade agreements, tariff, subside, import quotas, anti-dumping duties, etc. are: first of all, we have here trades. NAFTA, Mexico, UE Free Trade Agreement, Germany and Mexico, Japan, Mexico, Free Trade Agreement, G3 and the Pacific Alliance, Central America, Mexico FTA and TPP. Some permissions and licenses, for example, some products need to be approved for import-export. Sanitary permissions in case of food it's this case, like we're trying to enter yogurts to the Mexican business, and I think that could be some important facts. Also, my recommendations on which strategic decisions might bring success to the expansion effort is commitment, ability, and willingness to change, an organizational structure that supports the strategy, ability to measure progress, and a clear understanding of priorities. Now here comes the most important questions. It's, should Yogurt's Dairy Company enter to the Mexican market? Of course, I consider it a good opportunity to benefit from both sides. The Mexican market is constantly growing and good results are expected in the future. To what scale? Well, I personally recommend enter to the national market directly. This taking into account that a market study has been carried out to know what the specific points, but I consider that the national market would be the best option in order to impact more people and reduce costs by part of the company. Among exporting licensing, franchising, joint ventures, and wholly owned subsidiaries, entry mode is the best fit. I believe that the company could consider all the options, of course. However, I think it would be better if it entered the market as an exporter or as an franchise in order to promote the brand and generate more impact. In addition to that, with export, it would be a reducing risk. Are there any acquisition or strategic alliances to be made? Yes, of course, since in order to promote the product and so that it can reach the hands of several clients, alliances with companies already established in the market are required. Now, my conclusions for yogurts entering to the Mexican market is that after carrying out this analysis, we can conclude the importance of expand the brand, since this leads us to make better decisions and create strategies in order to boost our company. In the same way, we can see that every day new companies seek to enter new markets and have to design innovative proposals in order to fit in with new ideas. Thank you very much, and I am on your disposition.